Product Manager at PDFTron, and today I will be going through PDFTron's Web Viewer product, which provides users with all the productive features from the document creation and processing lifecycle, but all within the browser. So our solution is supported by several frameworks, which can be found on our products page by going to the Technology tab and then clicking on See All Capabilities. So this is a summary of our products, and as you can see, for our web product, we have the web viewer that can be deployed on several different front-end frameworks, such as React, Angular, Vue, and there are also several different integrations available. And one of the examples is Salesforce. So as you go down, you can see that there's an extensive list of SDK features in which you can also find a lot of thorough documentation and resources where they will show you how to integrate, embed, and customize the web viewer with these features. So by compiling our SDK over to this JavaScript-based solution, this ensures that no processing is required in the server side and no plugin or application has to be running on the client side. So let's just dive right into the demo. And this demo can be publicly found on our website, pdftron.com, by going to the Technology tab and then clicking on Launch Demo. So once we click on the Launch Demo, a new tab is opened and we have our Web Viewer demo. So the web viewer is basically this component of the page right here. And this can be integrated and embedded into any front-end framework. And currently we have the demo PDF that is loaded, but if you wanted to upload a file of your choosing, you can go to Choose File. And as you can see, there's a file gallery, or you can open a local file on your device or open a file by URL. In our files gallery, we also have other file formats, which is supported by the web viewer. So we have PDF, Office documents, images, and CAD files. So for this demo, I'll be going with the demo PDF. We'll start by being in the view mode, which allows the user to just simply go through the document and view. So there isn't any additional tools for the view mode. So then we can go into the annotate mode. So the annotate mode allows us to make different changes to the document by highlighting, underlining, or striking out, adding comments, text box, or freehand drawing, or a square shape. So from here, I'll just do some freehand drawing and then also add a comment. So this comment will appear on the right panel. And on the right panel, you can see that there's a guest that made the freehand drawing and also the comment. So this would be the default author in this case. So since there is no author set, that's why it says guest. Then I'll go into the shapes mode. So for the shapes, it's very intuitive. You can add different square, circle, pentagon, clouds, lines, arrows, and also do freehand drawings. And then for the insert mode, we have an option to insert signature, stamps, insert an image, or a file attachment. So for the signature, you can add a signature by drawing the signature. Or you can also just type the signature or upload an image for the signature. I can also choose to have some standard stamps that I can apply on the document or build my own custom stamp. And then I'll be going to the edit mode, in which this allows the user to just simply crop the page and mark this as a new page. So for the fill and sign mode, we have the signature functionality and being able to fill out different boxes with a cross, tick, or a dot. And you can also add stamps as you wish. So just to have a more relevant use case, we can just go onto File and then click on the form document, and then make sure we can better see the document by clicking Fit to Width. And this will allow us to basically fill out the document and cross the boxes that are necessary and make sure that if there are radio buttons, you can select one, and it allows a functionality to fill out your forms. So the forms mode actually helps you to build forms such as this one. So for boxes like this, you would be able to create a checkbox field using a box like this. And when you click apply field, this will allow for me to tick that box. And in this case, there's also ways for you to add a text box or a radio button and ensure that you can make a complete form using this mode. So once you click the apply field, it brings you back to the view mode, which allows the user to simply go through the form and fill out the form as necessary. There you go. So now that we've gone through all the different types of modes for the web viewer, we can then go into a little bit more complex features that are also available to customize the web viewer. So going into the UI customization feature, this allows us to control the amount of access that is given to the user for certain functionalities. So we are able to simply remove or add certain features by checking off the different features that you would like to add or remove inside the UI. So here I will check off the dark theme, and then we can check off downloading the PDF. This will ensure that the client can't download the PDF that they are viewing. You can also remove the printing option and then remove text selection, which ensures that the user cannot copy paste any text from that document. And then going into the annotation tools, you can remove certain tools from the toolbar. So for example, if you don't want the user to highlight any text or strike out any text, these are all features that are easily removable from the UI. Then we can also change the actual UI itself by going into the overlay section and completely removing the header or the view mode or the left panel. And this ensures that you can completely customize the web viewer's look as well. Next, we can go into another feature. This is the page manipulation feature, which allows the user to rearrange the pages of the PDF document. So we can do this by simply dragging and reordering the PDF document. So we can also put in a range. So for example, pages 3 and 4, and this will allow us to either delete, rotate, or extract these pages. You can also simply do this on single pages by clicking these buttons. So you can rotate this page, or you can even delete this page. And other functionalities also include being able to insert a blank page in between these pages, or splitting the document, or extracting certain pages, or cropping certain pages, and also being able to merge PDFs. Next, we can go into the PDF and Office Viewer feature, where we can show how we support different Microsoft Office files. For example, we can display Microsoft Word documents, we can show Excel documents, and also PowerPoint documents. And then we have our mobile support demo, where we display the web viewer UI, but within a range of different devices. For example, a Pixel 2, an iPhone X, or even a tablet such as iPads. So from here, we can also go into the large file demo, where we can show how the web viewer is able to process files of any size. So for example, we have a file here with 348 pages and a file with 13,000 plus pages. Both documents will load almost instantaneously due to a concept called linearization. So this allows the server to receive the document byte by byte, which ensures that there isn't any impact on the performance of the web viewer. And then we can go into our watermark feature, which ensures a level of security by placing a watermark on the page, where you can also add the timestamp of when this document was accessed, and also place the author of the document who is viewing it. So this ensures a level of security for the owner of the document, since we can ensure that if somebody were to download and distribute the document, you would know who was the author of the document that's being distributed. So in this case, we embed the watermark during the rendering process. So it's made sure that no one can easily remove the watermark, which ensures maximum amount of security for the document. And then next, we can go into the redaction feature. So in the redaction feature, we are able to basically redact any sort of information on the document. Any data on the document that is redacted cannot be brought back since it is permanently removed from the metadata of the document. So just as an example, I can select this area that I would like to redact. And then once I click on apply redactions, so none of this information will be extractable after it has been redacted. Next, we can go into the digital signatures feature, which will allow us to add a field for a signature. However, this time it will have a unique identification, which is very different from simply adding an e-signature to a document. So adding an e-signature is basically an annotation that appears in the document, but it has no identifiable information about who is the author that signed it. Whereas a digital signature actually can be considered almost equivalent to a physical signature on a paper, since it allows a precise identification of who is the one who signed it, and it can be safely assumed that the signature is also valid. And the digital signature allows the user to make sure that the document is validated, so no contents have been changed after it was signed. So a digital signature also ensures that the signer cannot deny the fact that they signed the document. So these are kind of the differences between adding a digital signature versus adding an e-signature. So in this case, we can set a digital ID password, which will be used to verify that the signature is valid. And then we can add a signature information and set the reason and set the contact information and save the document with approval for the signature. Some other features also include the compare feature, where we can do semantic text compare. So this compares the changes in text, and we can see the log of changes on the right side panel. So this will place in red the changes that were taken off versus the changes in green, which were added. So on the side, we can click on the different change, and this will allow us to even comment and reply to the change that was made or removed. And then, for example, here, these were all the ones that were taken out, and then these were all the changes that were added to the document. So we also have the compare by image overlay feature. This will compare the documents completely visually by converting the two documents into images and then placing both of the images on top of each other for pixel by pixel comparison. And then the differences will appear in red or blue. And then in this case, the document, the first file will show the changes as displayed in red. So as we can see, there are some changes made in the document, which we can find in red. Another very cool feature that we've recently added is to support video format files. So we can go into the video feature and load the demo video, and then notice that we have the watermark that is displayed throughout the video. And I'll just mute the sound and play the video. And as we can see in this case, there is an annotation that appears during the marked red portion of the video. And then go to the next marked portion, we can see that there is a line that appears in the video for the second annotation. And very similar to document annotating, there's also a panel on the side that shows the different annotations in the video and who is the author of those annotations. Similarly to document annotating, we can do exactly the same type of annotations, but on a video file. And then once we do that, we can also choose to drag out the annotation for as long as we'd like. And this will allow the annotation to be flexible depending on where you would like to add the annotation inside the video and for how long you would like to add it for. So this is just another format that the web viewer is able to support. So we are able to annotate on various different file formats. And lastly, we can go into the search feature, which will allow us to search the document specifically with case sensitive, whole word, or wildcard, or just regular expression. And this will allow us to navigate the document with the necessary information that we are searching. So this was an overall demo and summary of all the different features that we can find when using the web viewer. I hope this gave some insight on how PDFTron is using its technology to really develop some powerful solutions in the world of document creation and processing. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us or ask during the question session. Thank you.